chief's curse. They found her body hanging from the old Iroko tree by the market. Her eyes were wide open, but it wasn't just the sight of her death that scared us. It was her hands. They were clenched tight, fingers twisted in a way that looked unnatural, almost like they were reaching for something. But there was nothing there. Nothing, except the chief's compound in the distance. I'm Ago. I was there when it all started, and I wish I hadn't been. It began with Chief Osaigbovo, the most feared man in the kingdom. He wasn't always like that. Before, he was just a man who liked power a little too much, always taking more than he gave. But after he became the Iyase, second only to the Oba himself, something changed. People whispered that he visited the shrine at night, offering things no one dared to talk about. Animals, valuables, even things he stole from his rivals. And they said the spirits gave him something in return, a charm that let him control people. At first it was small things. The palm wine tapper in the village stopped selling to anyone but him. A farmer who owed him money fell sick and couldn't harvest his yams. But then people started disappearing. The first was Ife, the widow who sold cassava by the roadside. She was taken to his compound after refusing to give him her land. People said they heard her screaming that night. The next day, the land was signed over to him, and she was never seen again. Then it was Osahon, the village blacksmith. He made the mistake of talking back when the chief's guards came to take his tools. "Do you think the gods are asleep?" he shouted. The chief only laughed. That night, Osahon's forge burned down with him inside. Everyone in the village was afraid, but what could we do? The chief controlled the guards, the land. Even the Oba didn't seem to stop him. It was as if his power reached everywhere. I tried to stay out of it, but then my sister Idea got involved. She wasn't afraid of him. "Someone has to stand up to him," she said. "He's just a man." But he wasn't. Idea spoke out against him during a village meeting, accusing him of stealing from the farmers. His face didn't even change. He just smiled and said, "You should watch your tongue. The spirits might not like it." That night, Idea woke me up, shaking. She said she heard voices outside her window, whispering her name. I didn't believe her at first, but then we both heard it. A low, raspy chant, like wind passing through dry leaves. The next morning, she was gone. We searched everywhere, but no one dared to go near the chief's compound. 3 days later, they found her by the Iroko tree. The elders said it was the spirits, that she had angered them. But I knew it was him. I saw the way he looked at me during the funeral, as if daring me to speak up. I didn't. I couldn't. A few months later, the Oba's men came and took him away. They said he had angered the gods, that his charm had backfired, but I don't believe that. Even now, when I walk past the Iroko tree, I feel like something is watching me, waiting. The chief may be gone, but his curse isn't. I can feel it in the air, in the silence of the village, in the way people avoid looking at each other. It's as if he's still here, laughing at us from the shadows.